Hello everybody, this is Maxwell McGee here at the EA booth at Gamescom 2011. We're talking with Kori Batler about Star Wars: The Old Republic. Kori, thank you for chatting with us.
Oh, my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
So Kori, let's go ahead and jump right to the meat of it. What are you guys showing off here at the show?
Sure, we really wanted to talk about our in-game content, right? Because we know that's the stuff that's going to keep our community thriving for months and years after we launch the game. And with that, we were talking about our flashpoints, which is a highly replayable group instance combat, story-driven. And we revealed a brand new war zone, so it's called Hutball. It takes place on the neutral world of Nar Shaddaa. And then we talked about our operations, which is our version of raids, and we did a first ever live demo of one of our operations, the Eternity Vault.
Let's go ahead and start with flashpoints. You mentioned during the presentation that these are going to be highly replayable missions. What exactly about them is going to keep players coming back to them over and over again?
Well, they're very challenging, right? For example, when we did a hands-on for Terral 5, the video that we showed in our presentation, we had like a 90% wipe rate, full party wipes. I mean, less than 10% of the people that came through were able to successfully complete it. So just with that, there's multiple strategies you can take in trying to complete that too. So I think that's what makes them replayable, and there's great rewards. There's good loot that comes out of those.
And do they also have a heavy story component? I think I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very story-driven.
And like multiple outcomes for the stories involved in these things?
Yeah, I mean, depending on which choices you make and where you want to take your character, you can definitely end up in different places.
And then let's jump over to Hutball. Could you give us just a quick overview of what that's all about? Because I know I saw it and it looks completely insane.
It's a blast. It's a brutal spectator sport. Like I said, it takes place on the neutral world of Nar Shaddaa, which actually means that we're not always going to be drawing the team lines between Republic versus Empire. We're kind of randomizing teams, so you can actually battle people of your own faction. So it could be Jedi versus Jedi, Sith versus Sith, and it's a chance for players across the galaxy to come in and fight for fame and fortune.
Can you maybe go into a little more detail about what the rules of Hutball are? I know you're supposed to get a ball and take it across a line, but is there a little bit more to it than that?
I mean, that's really the gist, right? You take the ball and you want to move it across the field into your opponent's goal zone, right? And then there are no rules other than that.
The only rule is there are no rules.
Right, the only rule is kill as many people as you can on your way to getting the ball across. I mean, you can pass the ball, you can take the ball across yourself, and then the field itself is a virtual death trap. Like there's acid pits, there's fires.
I noticed at least one flamethrower pit.
Yeah. I mean, that's and there's strategy you can use to bring those into play. Like a lot of the force users, you can use a force pull or a force push to put somebody in an acid pit. So it's a pretty unique experience, and it's a lot of fun.
And then finally, let's talk about the Eternity Vault and what you were showing off with that.
Sure. The Eternity Vault's the first operation that we've announced for the Old Republic. Again, that's our take on raids. And it takes place on the prison world of Belsavis, and the Eternity Vault itself is the maximum security prison. It's where they put the worst of the worst, so to speak. And it's Belsavis is a snow-covered planet, so this prison's been hidden and lost for years and years and years. But now that the Republic and the Empire are both back on the planet, they've rediscovered it, and it houses one of the most powerful Force users the galaxy has known in the past 20,000 years. So both are interested in getting in there and discovering its secrets.
So what is your team doing to make your in-game raid content a little more varied, a little more different from the other MMOs that are out there?
Well, it's really just kind of playing it and coming in with a unique approach. I mean, with the Eternity Vault, there's a lot of gameplay mechanics in play there. I mean, with the live demo that we did, it was just the beginning of it. We didn't actually get inside the vault. But as you move through the vault, there's different types of mechanics that you don't normally see in an MMO. There's puzzle mechanics, there's almost a platform-esque sort of sequence where you're hopping around these different rocks on the lava, and there's just a lot of different ways you can play the operations. So
for, we'll say, the average team, how long do you think it would take them to play through the Eternity Vault?
It's not really something we're talking about. We're not discussing like the length of content, and plus it really just depends on how you want to play the game, right? You can take as long as you wanted to ease through the Eternity Vault.
Fair enough. We don't have to use that. All right. Finally, I wanted to ask a little bit about, you guys have obviously shown this game a lot in previews coverage, and it's gotten out in front of the public. What has the feedback been like from the fan community, and how has your development team sort of internalized like what they've been asking for?
It's been overwhelmingly positive, actually. It's been great, and we've been in external testing for a while now, so we get a lot of feedback from that. We get a lot of feedback in the forums, the face-to-face. We get to come out to these events and let people get their hands on the game. And we're always listening to our fans. Like, for example, with our very innovative multiplayer conversation system, we noticed that some people would be not near the area, right, but they still wanted to take part of the conversation. So we came up with a way to holocall them in. One of our designers put that in, so now even if you're not on the same side of the planet as the rest of your group, and they start a multiplayer conversation that you want to be a part of, you can just holocall yourself in, and so you'll see your hologram standing right next to them, and you're looking at your device, and you're still being a part of the group.
And where would you say that your team is at with the development of the Old Republic? What do you have left to work on with this game?
At this point, it's really just waiting for the game to be ready. We're gonna put it out there when we feel like it's hit that BioWare level of quality. I mean, BioWare's always been a very quality-driven studio, so when the game's ready, we'll put it out there.
Well, I know I'm excited to get my hands on it. Can you perhaps tell us when your game may be coming out?
We're targeting holiday of 2011.
All right, well, thank you so much for chatting with us, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Take care.